Wait. I think
sorry, we were just having a lightsaber battle.
Yeah, that's what actual lightsabers.
That's what they really sound like. Yeah, just fucking clicks. We're back doing another Star Wars episode. You thought after we talked for 5 hours that we wouldn't be doing another Star Wars episode? Well, you were wrong. And how does that feel?
I'll show you the dark side.
Yes.
That's how it feels.
That's how it feels. Sorry, Kylo was still talking. We wanted to give him room.
He's such a jabbermouth.
Yeah. So we're back doing this shorter version of our much longer podcast, mainly because by the time we got to the new Disney trilogy, we were all kind of tired, and we just wanted to make sure that we covered that one properly.
Absolutely.
And maybe in a smaller bite-sized chunk that more people would be willing to listen to instead of like a 5-hour rant.
If you want the in-depth version.
Yeah, which talks about all of Star Wars, or at least everything that we have been privy to.
Yeah, all
personally.
the main films.
Yeah, all the main films.
Yep.
We touch on some of the series, some of the games. So check that out. Anyways, so we, over the course of a couple weeks, just rewatched the trilogy. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and just recently Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And also went back and watched the original animated version of the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
because that was one of our blind spots. Not for real. We just hadn't seen it in so long.
Yeah. But, I mean, pretty much since it came out.
And it is dope.
It's
so good.
It's better than I remember it. And
yeah.
I thought that I remembered it, pretty highly. Dude, it's amazing.
Dude, it's right up there with Revenge of the Sith for me, as far as like some of the best things that come out of that era of Star Wars.
Yeah,
so far.
Totally. Yeah.
So
I'd completely agree with you on that. Like fucking Revenge of the Sith, the Clone Wars animated and
like the 2D animation, not the 3D.
Yeah,
That's the one that we're talking about. Yeah.
And then fucking Republic Commando.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really. Like, those are some of the best things, period, from that generation of Star Wars.
So, anyways, of that show, what was your favorite episode of it? What was something
dude,
that really,
the Mace Windu.
The Mace Windu.
Yeah, I don't remember
wrecking droids.
Ooh, yeah, because he gets his lightsaber knocked out of his hand, and then you realize that
and
Mace
he starts
Windu
doing those Bruce Lee punches, dude, where he's just.
Yeah, that's
those Ip Man.
The Ip Man shit.
It's really
dude.
Yeah,
man. That's Vapod right there. So that's his own style. It's the light side version of Juyo, and yeah, you can see right there. He doesn't need a lightsaber.
Yeah,
he'll beat that ass anyway.
He ain't even concerned.
But no, I really feel like the females in every single female in the Clone Wars is cooler than Rey. And I don't dislike Rey.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Rey's a good character.
Rey's a good character.
I
really don't mind her at all, but
no, and I'll agree with you on that on some level.
Every one of them, every female character, dude. Shakti is cooler.
They're very well.
Isla
They're very
Sakura's
well realized.
Cooler, yeah, dude. What's her name is cooler? Saj Ventress.
Yeah,
she's
cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like her.
These are cool characters.
Yeah.
That have their own thing kind of going on. And again, I'm still gonna complain about this through this thing. You'll see. Where the fuck are the Twi'leks?
Where's the Twi'leks?
Where my Twi'leks at?
Yeah, there aren't very many. I think the only one you really get is in Force Awakens.
So you were saying that you really liked that Kit Fisto scene, man.
Kit Fisto? Oh, wait. What was that?
Do you remember when he goes under the water?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was dope.
Yeah.
Well, you've never seen a lightsaber underwater. And so it's like, how would a lightsaber look? Apparently it looked like a wave.
Yeah.
It'd just be wavy.
I'm fine with it. Whatever.
I'm cool. And it's like... Yeah, underwater like sea battle that you just don't see.
Yeah.
Like it's something new, it's something different,
cool.
and it was super dope.
and they were on Mon Calamari.
Well, I'll tell you, like, my favorite,
because that's showing the war of Mon Calamari,
right?
Like that's some shit that's very cool that you don't get, that kind of insight into in the main movies. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, the benefits of animations, you know, doesn't cost as much to draw whatever.
You can show whatever you want. Yeah.
But I tell you, my favorite episode doesn't really have anything to do with the Jedis. It's that first like trooper episode.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's just there's no dialogue. They are just signaling, and they are like a
in the drop
very
ships and coming in and
unit. Like, and it's I don't know. It's just such like good visual storytelling that I just eat that shit up.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Well,
Clone Wars really, really fucking good.
Like, if they had a Clone Wars like military short, that was like a hyper realistic like this is a
it's
day,
like
day in a
it's
life.
Warzone footage.
Day in the life of a
trooper.
That'd be kind of cool, man. But man, that
Didn't
whole
they do a faux cops like reality show?
Troops is hilarious, man. Yeah, Troops is real good.
Yeah,
but that's comedy,
Yeah.
I was talking about something like Jarhead, but with
but with clone troopers. Who?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal could be in it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
That's fine.
How about this could be the Captain Phasma shit that we are missing.
we never got. Yeah. Just do a Phasma animated.
Yeah, and she'd be super badass. And straight murder.
Jarhead meets Star Wars.
Yeah, that's right. Yelling at cadets. Get your ass up, okay?
Our Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Clone Wars real good. I also recently played Vader Mortal. Just tonight.
You just got to play it.
Yeah, just got to play it.
So what you think, man?
I like it. It's fun. I still haven't gotten used to VR and motion controls, in general.
Well, that one I don't like how strict they are with the blackout, because they just black you the fuck out. If you walk into an object, if you walk out of space, it just black screen.
And I don't like how it kind of. I don't like how it locks you down.
Oh yeah.
From scene to scene.
Oh yeah.
Like
if they're gonna give you free movement, you just want free movement.
I just want free movement.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I understand why they did it. Because this is less it's really fun. It's fun gameplay. It's well done. But it really is like VR is really just seems like a hey, come in and look around for a little bit. Kind of gameplay style. Which is fine because it looks awesome.
Yeah,
it looks great. Like when you're on Mustafar, and you're climbing along the ledge of Vader's tower, or even when you're entering with the ship.
Oh,
it looks so good.
Yeah, very cool.
It's like it's eye candy. Just want to eat it.
And what's her name? Is the robot?
Is the droid? Yeah, she's funny.
With Maya Rudolph.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good. She's good as a droid. I like the droid.
Well, so one thing, because there was a part where you were a little stuck, but you were looking in the wrong direction. But when you looked over, if you watched her, she was even like gesturing and pointing towards the thing you were supposed to do.
Right.
And there's a lot of little simple things that they do in that VR experience that I feel like a lot of VR developers could learn from. Just like simple gestures and signs that aren't. You're headed in the right direction. Kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it just looks good. All the scenes with Vader, especially when he's getting all emotional about Padme and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of heart-wrenching.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Like,
I know.
This dude is
feel
just
your
so
pain.
mad.
Yeah, he's
just so fucking angry.
Yeah. It's cool, and I mean it's a little side story, but it actually ties into the main canon.
And I love the aesthetic of what was going on when the Mustafarian like priestess is like force like pushing the backstory into your head. Like it's all very painterly and wavy. It's just got a really awesome aesthetic, and it does a good job of kind of leading you around like all around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's really cool.
And I know you didn't have a chance to play much of the dojo, but you still got the experience of like how even a small amount of that'll get your heart going. And
Yeah. And anytime I was doing any kind of lightsaber stuff, it
puts you on edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is to me a very good thing, because I think that whether people want to or not, maybe this is partly because I'm not a big fan of multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Like I just don't give a straight fuck about multiplayer games.
Right.
But playing a game that requires me to have a bit of physical effort put into it, it helps me to not only have a different kind of experience, but also like I don't want to play for fucking hours at a time.
Right.
I'll play for 20 minutes and then I'll go do something else, and so it becomes a more healthy gaming experience.
Right.
And I really think there's something interesting about these sort of games that ends up becoming a more satisfying experience for a shorter period of time.
Right.
I
gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I can get in there and
do it for
play
a
that
bit.
dojo.
Yeah,
and I'm good.
And you're good.
And I'm tired. Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down.
Ooh, yeah. 30 minutes of that.
I gotcha. I can see how that can be. Well, because when we were playing Super Hot.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and Super Hot
that's like a yoga workout. Right?
It's like because you'll find yourself like limboing. It feels like like you're playing Twister. Yeah.
But I liked Vader Immortal. It was a good game.
Good game.
All right. So I think that's good for an intro. Get into the movies.
Yeah, these are the movies.
Okay. So Force Awakens. Let's get into this movie. Is there anything specifically about this movie that stands out to you personally the most? I mean, like how can I phrase this? Is there any one like moment or character that really drives this movie for you in any way?
I mean, I really do like Rey.
Yeah.
That
might actually be mine personally.
Yeah, I really do.
I really enjoy Rey as a character.
I get it.
Daisy Ridley does a
absolutely.
fantastic job in this role. And it was a big role for her to step into. Because you got to think, no, she is the Luke Skywalker of this trilogy.
Yeah.
She is the one that the majority of the events kind of revolve around to a degree.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like there are shortcuts taken in her character arc, but it feels more like pressed for time rather than flubbing a character.
You mean in this movie specifically?
No, across the
trilogy.
Yeah, across the trilogy. No, actually, in this movie, especially with us watching it more recently.
Yeah.
Because I watched it once before the last podcast, and then we just watched it again.
Yeah.
As we were talking during it, I feel like she has an affinity for picking up on things quickly.
She's real intuitive.
She's very intuitive.
Yeah.
Anything that she sees, she'll can copy.
Yeah.
She's able to.
She's also very tenacious.
Very tenacious
with it, with that kind of thing.
Super driven. She's and I think that lends to her grasping the force and such as quick, because she doesn't exactly grasp use of the lightsaber in this film.
Not really.
She puts up a damn good defense and she gets pissed off.
Yeah,
but she does not. It's not like she's whipping out moves. It's not like
she's not trained for this. Like it's like it really comes down to them kind of foreshadowing this by her being a kind of melee focused staff user throughout the majority of the film.
She already had melee training.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I feel like she is very quickly realizing her high affinity for the Force. I honestly feel that the moment that Kylo went into her brain, tried to, Force molest her.
No.
It's a mind molest.
Mind molest.
Let me dig in your brain. What is? Oh man, that's what that makes me think of. There's a thing from Silent Hill that they always. It was an object, and that's the way that they always described it. Is it felt like someone rooting around inside your brain.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way.
kind of what what Kylo Ren just does. He just does that.
Like, let me move through your brain matter like files,
like
in
a
Rolodex.
Cabinet.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that the case is something along the lines of like she felt what he was doing to her
and was able to
reverse it back, like it was a channel that he opened up, and she was able to see, here's a channel, and she was able to go the other way with it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I mean, this may be like retroactive, but that may point to like in the next two movies where they do have
an actual connection.
Mm-hmm. So that may have been what
that's a little bit of a foreshadowing there.
Yeah,
they established a connection.
Kylo Ren may have caused that.
Have caused that to happen. May have seeded the Force within her. So she might have already, of course, had the Force affinity, right?
Yeah.
But I think that he went inside there, and then she felt it, and it had a connection to the Force in a way that she never had in her life before.
Essentially unlocked it.
Yeah. And that's why she had such a rapid uprise. I do not believe this whole she's a Mary Sue bullshit.
No,
I think it's the dumbest. I mean, there is a rush to her story arc. I agree with that.
Across three movies.
That's across three movies.
But in this one, there is a logical progression of how she's doing the things that she's doing.
It's completely solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. So, and Finn in this movie, this is probably the only movie
that you like Finn.
That I actually like.
I'm right there with you.
I do think that he
has some moments later.
And I think in Last Jedi they are doing a good job of developing him in a certain way. But it's kind of a retread of what they already did with him in this movie.
And it gets thrown away a little bit.
It's not really very focused on in the Last Jedi.
Well, I also think it's a little funny that the second two films, his plot is, Finn goes on a wild adventure and gets caught. Like that's pretty much all that happens.
He goes on a wild adventure and gets caught. And really likes Rey.
And really likes Rey and never says a thing to her, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Don't want to rush. Overall, I think this movie in particular is probably, I don't want to say the most solid because I still really like Jedi. Jedi's absolutely my favorite.
But this movie does not have
movie is still
Canto Bite.
It's very solid. It's paced very well.
Notice, audience, he skipped right over my comment.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. That didn't happen.
I haven't seen that movie yet. Shut up.
Seen that one. Spoilers.
Hey, spoilers, guys.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. It's fine. You've seen these movies. You know you have. Don't lie.
If you haven't, then get a lightsaber.
Yeah. I do think this movie is paced well, I think that's kind of the nature of what this movie pretty much had to be. It being the first of the trilogy, it had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with the characters and spend time setting them up. It didn't really have to move them very much. It just kind of had to put the camera where they are. That said, I think it's, and I may be contradicting myself by saying this, is like, it is paced very well, but I don't feel like the characters had a lot of
like grow time.
Well, not grow time, just a lot of effect on it. Felt like, it's like what I said before when we were watching. It feels more like the plot is happening to them rather than them moving the
making
plot.
stuff happen.
Yeah, actually making things happen. It feels like things are just happening to them in this one.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. It's the first one, but it's kind of that adventure that no one expected to happen, and they're just kind of guessing through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So,
I think. Okay, so here's something that we were specifically looking for: is any connection at all to
whether or not
Rey is a Palpatine.
Rey is a Palpatine, or Palpatine's kind of in the background.
Yeah, and
essentially,
they're really. I mean, like I said, the scene with Snoke in the throne room. It's arguable because I mean it's reminiscent of anything you've ever seen with Palpatine. That's kind of his MO. Hey, look, I'm big and intimidating.
It's visual shorthand.
It's
visual. It's more
you understand
of a
who he is immediately because of the way he's presented.
Kylo Ren, the reason his helmet is flared out in the back is because it's supposed to remind us of Vader. The reason that Snoke looks the way that he does in this film is because he's supposed to remind us of the Emperor. There's a lot of that in this movie. And it's very much intentional callbacks.
So where's the line between that and fan service?
I think it's all fan service. I think it's the difference between good fan service and bad fan service.
Okay.
So the way I just kind of describe at least my own personal taste in fan service, I like fan service that's more along the lines of kind of what I feel like this movie did really well, and I feel like Jedi did very well as well. Personally, it's good fan service is the kind that is kind of being like, hey, look, we like this thing too. You're in good hands. You can trust us. It's cool. Hey, remember that? You remember that scene? Yeah, that was cool. Hey, now we're going to do something different. But come with us on this journey. You're going to be okay. That's good fan service to me.
Yeah.
When it's, oh no, you didn't like that last thing and the other thing? Well, what about this? You liked this one, didn't you? Please like us again, please. We don't go anywhere. Like more pandering. That's bad fan service.
You don't like pandering? That's what you're saying?
No.
This is that I'm confused on your position about anime titties. Really confused. Is it fan service? Is it good fan service? Is it bad?
I think it depends on the titties.
It depends on the anime titties.
So let's, because they're good.
Taki from Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So Motoko Kusanagi. That's
there you go. Good.
That's good. It's good.
But I totally see what you're saying, man. When they're making a nod, but they're not doing it as the only reason that it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
well, it's like when something happens and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I know we're going to be talking a lot about this specific thing throughout. So and let me just say, in episode 9, the fan service just feels so egregious.
Yeah,
and in this movie, it doesn't really. It is very all over the place in this movie. It is very much a fan service movie.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie kind of had to do that for the reasons that I talked about in the previous podcast, is whether you like the prequels or not. This movie had to prove to you that it wasn't going to be the prequels.
Yeah. This is, hey, look, it's like old Star Wars.
Yeah.
And again, this is something that I said on the previous one, but I don't feel like they did a shot-for-shot remake.
Right. No.
I do kind of feel like this movie almost felt like maybe the whole trilogy, the whole original trilogy smashed together. Yeah, kind of. Also, this is a thought that I had. Jedi kind of just took the ending of the first 2 films and made that the ending of the third. I started putting that together. I was like, okay, so lightsaber fight inside, blow up some shit from blow up the Death Star from the outside. Okay, this is the same thing. It's just both of them together now. Oh, do you like this one? Do you like that one? What about them together?
What if the Death Star was in the planet. Okay, so let's talk about that too, because that was something that
Starkiller Base.
Yeah, so Starkiller Base as a concept.
Yeah, which I really did not like at first.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's a bigger Death Star.
Yeah.
That's their idea?
Well, specifically what you said to me was, so why did they put mountains on this thing? Why did they manufacture mountains?
Did they need to
did they hire a dude from Colorado to design? I'm gonna make it look just like the Rockies.
Listen, my mountains guy is great. You got to talk to my mountains guy.
You got to talk to my mountains guy. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's not that they built it.
Yeah, from scratch.
From scratch. They just found a planet.
Yeah.
And then built the shit around it.
Well, it's just as irrational as anything else.
Yeah.
It's like, I like the idea better of it just being some shit that was sunk into a planet, but there's still just like, for logistics purposes, nothing in Star Wars makes sense.
No,
okay,
not at
just
all.
when you really start putting all this together, you're like, okay, so how'd they dig up that much of the planet without the thing cracking in half?
Yeah.
Where did they get the supplies?
Yeah.
How'd they bring them to the pieces of metal that go down? It's like it's not Grand Canyon big. It's like
the entire planet
canyon.
Yeah,
it's big. Like
the Starkiller Base is just a planet with a giant Grand Canyon in it,
made of metal that is a gun from the core of it. And
you see why breaking down these movies
it screws it up. It really screws it up. Just stop making sense of this.
Yeah.
Like they're not worth it. Yeah, we can't do it. Yeah,
it's not that I'm saying that I don't like doing that shit.
Well, hey,
but
it's like what I was talking about earlier with the convenience thing, man.
Yeah,
it's the same situation. The Star Wars has a rule of convenience.
Yeah,
you're like,
okay,
oh, is this the object that you happened to need?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's in a box.
It's right here.
You've had the whole time. Oh.
Hey, good thing you stopped at this place, right?
Well, damn.
But that can honestly be said about most of it in this trilogy. I don't think it's a bad thing to think about any movie logically. I think it depends on how much of that if you do have critical thinking towards a movie, it's how much of that is going to affect your suspension of disbelief. And whether or not that takes you out of the experience. And I think I've been really like, while I still have fun breaking down these stupid, silly things, because they are stupid, silly things and they're hilarious,
it doesn't detract from you liking it.
It doesn't, because Star Wars as a whole is not a very logical series, and I don't mean that as far as like you're not supposed to think about it. I mean, it doesn't really it doesn't make operate.
It's not real.
It doesn't operate in a logical world. It operates in a very emotional world.
Absolutely,
you know. And
well, it's like mythology. It's like it's like folklore. It's like those kind of things. It has a lot more of that colloquial feeling. That whole like you said, an emotional thing. It's like a
this isn't supposed to be hard sci-fi.
It's not. No, this is not Dune.
Yeah. Had to throw it in somewhere.
Oh man,
because that's gonna be good. So okay,
so
the
after Starkiller thing though,
the Starkiller.
I did want to say, because we didn't bring it before, but Starkiller is the name of the dude from Force Unleashed. Yeah, and it was also Luke's original name.
Yeah, before it was Skywalker.
Which Starkiller
so good
is not a great hero name.
Not really. It's more an anti-hero thing, which is why I think it works better for the guy in
Force Unleashed. Yeah, totally.
Or as a giant, planet-killing planet weapon.
7 planets. Okay,
7.
It's 7. Why 7? Why does it shoot 7 beams out? How do you aim 7 shits out of the center of a planet? What's going on?
Remember, it's not logical. It's not supposed to be.
I clipped the fuck out of that spot.
It's all good. I'll edit it out. I won't.
No, don't.
I won't edit it out. So wait, what was I getting to? Okay, so you have had problems with the ending fight scene for a while.
Yeah.
Watching it this time, though.
Yeah. So watching it this time, I definitely have a little bit of a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already talking about this on the last podcast, but the hole has gotten deeper. I've continued to
just dive into this hole. Yeah.
Lightsaber form thing. You know, I'm really considering on purchasing a saber and learning some forms, and you know.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I think it's a cool idea. I like the idea of using it as a martial art. You know, it's really just more of like a Tai Chi thing.
Yeah.
It's not like it, you know.
Exactly.
Or Kendo. You know.
Kendo. Yeah.
Yeah. But watching the way that Kylo fights at the end, I started to notice a couple of things. Number one, he absolutely uses a handful of Makashi maneuvers.
Yeah,
he faces, or he faces to the side, you know, like perpendicular to the opponent, or it's really like it, you know.
45. See, and I'd like to see if his like and this is something that we may need, or you'll need to be looking out for, and I think would be interesting is, does his forms change? Do his forms change throughout the movies? Because do you think he was using more of a side stance because he was injured?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
He really wasn't using his what was it? His left?
Yeah, his left side, because that's where he got shot.
Yeah.
Right. So he was injured. Okay. So if you notice, he doesn't ever try to hold the saber with two hands.
Not really. There are a few few instances, but it's not for very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like a couple of the moves that he does, the disarm that he does to Finn is a Makashi technique. The way he holds a high guard at certain points, some of his slash patterns. Now again, he's favoring his right side, but you can do that and still perform Makashi without a problem.
Yeah,
you know. And if you're good with both hands, then it doesn't matter which side you're
using. Yeah.
And as far as Rey is concerned, I really think that she is not holding up her end of the duel until she gets pissed off, and that's fine to me, because that.
Well, she absolutely rages out. I mean, Star Wars heroes have a tendency to rage out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they have to play with the dark side, man. They have to just tickle it a little bit. They got to
give it a little tickle.
Yeah. If they don't, then they get murdered immediately.
Play grandma's footsies with it.
Yeah, that's right. If not, then they die. That's
So,
I don't know. Obi-Wan, lasted a long time without playing with the dark side, didn't he?
A good while. Like, I can't even think of
it'd be real funny if they had that one.
Oh no, dude, he totally dances with it in Phantom Menace when
after
Qui-Gon dies, he rages out, dude.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah.
The dark side.
Yes, I know. I love that. Okay, so just real quick,
the Robot Chicken Star Wars episode. That's probably my favorite shit Robot Chicken ever did, because I'm not the biggest Robot Chicken fan. I think they're real hit or miss.
Yeah, they either knock it out the park or it's just
like, so flat. Yeah. But the Star
Wars episode is really good.
Yeah, man.
I love it. I love it when Sidious first gets found out in Revenge of the Sith.
No.
Star Wars has really interesting ways of saying the word no.
Yeah, really. They love no.
Anyways, back to The Force Awakens.
Yeah, so the lightsaber battle, she actually totally gets crushed by that, and I'm good on the way that fight works out because of Kylo being injured.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that's the Mary Sue situation.
I don't think that's too far of a stretch.
Yeah. It's not like she fucking chopped his head off. It's not like she pulled an Ataru flip and went behind him, put him in some shit, did that Emperor Jimsa or Juyo Psycho Crusher.
Oh yeah. She didn't pull out a
this is for Granddaddy. She didn't do that,
Granddaddy's secret move.
Yeah, man. It's not, like she I also feel like, and we've had to repeat this, I guess, that we gotta remember that the prequels are the only time that we see folks that actually know how to use a lightsaber.
What they're doing, yeah.
Other than Vader, and Vader is on his last fucking legs.
Yeah, literally,
hey,
he's on no legs, man.
He's on no legs.
He's on no legs.
So, but in Empire, when he's fighting, he's still in good shape.
Yeah,
and that's when he's hitting him with that Makashi. Yeah, and you see him lining him up. And you see him like very aggressively stepping into him, making sure that doesn't happen at the end of that movie, But and Luke doesn't know how to use a lightsaber until the end of
Return
of the Jedi.
Yeah, or at the beginning of Return of the Jedi.
At the beginning, but he doesn't really get to use it. And I don't know. I mean, that scene in what's it called shows him using a lot of stuff, like him doing blaster bolt deflections and him doing Ataru flips and him
I don't think he was ever not efficient with it. He did have training.
Yeah. He had a very small amount of training to start with,
So he knew kind of what he was doing, but he wasn't as proficient as he probably should have been at that point.
And no one is as proficient as Dooku, Mace Windu, young Anakin,
young
Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon,
all the guys from the
Yoda.
Prequels.
Yeah. Like every one of these boys are ballers, and it's something that I have to remember. There is no training. It's not like they can go look up, Sith Wiki and go find out
exactly
it would be on Wikipedia actually.
It would be on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's Wikipedia. Do you know about Wikipedia?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm just
I do. I know it's a real thing.
It would be on Wikipedia. It would. I bet it is. How to be a Sith.
Is.
I'm gonna go look it up right now. Bye guys.
That'd be great. Oh man, if only Kylo had this.
Somehow their internet's not as good in the future. I don't know what's up.
Well, it is a long time ago.
Oh, and it's far away.
It is far
That's
away.
Why, because the signal
Wi-Fi
can't get
connection
there.
is real weak.
I can't get it.
So that's another interesting thing. The training of these new characters is a little wonky. Like we were talking about, like Emperor Palpatine limited Darth Vader.
Yeah.
When he became his apprentice, essentially, but he limited him physically.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of a thing that makes sense when you think about the Sith as like a rule of tool. Rule of tool, but the rule of two, and the fact that the apprentices almost always try to kill the masters. That it would just make sense that eventually the masters would start limiting the training of their apprentices so they wouldn't be able to kill them.
Yeah.
And then after, hundreds of years of that just perpetuating and happening, more and more information gets lost.
Yeah.
As it passes down to generation to generation.
But that's okay. So that makes me think of the difference between the Old Republic times and the New Republic times, right? Because the Old Republic times, the Sith weren't under the Law of Two situation.
Right.
They were just Sith.
Just Sith everywhere.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. Hopefully not. But there were a lot of them. Everywhere makes it sound real bad.
Like
that's all I'm saying. Like they are everywhere. All I see is red. This is bad. But they could actually, train but there's also another funny thing about Sith when you think about it. Even if it's not the rule of two, even if it was the Old Republic Sith, Jedi don't kill each other.
No,
Sith kill each other in training
all the time.
In training, man. So it's hard to
it's hard to maintain
a
society.
You can't have much going on there.
If your friend's constantly trying to kill you, you're probably not making a lot of friends. But that was something that I thought about during this last viewing is the way that Vader was limited was a physical limitation. Like, he physically couldn't do things because he got his arms and legs cut off. And he could still maintain, but he was still limited to some degree. Snoke is limiting Kylo Ren, however, psychologically.
Yeah.
Throughout this entire movie, and really throughout the entire time on the way through Jedi. And that was something that I picked up on that I didn't pick up on last time.
Which
just the difference.
That's also something that he's doing, Kylo's doing to Rey.
Right.
Like you were talking
too.
about. And he does that throughout the trilogy as well.
He's more intimidating as far as, like, of the mind, because when you see him in the woods when he first encounters Rey, what does he do? Well, he freezes her. That puts her in a very vulnerable state, and then he walks behind her and shows her his lightsaber. That's intimidating. He's not, like, physically, like, he's not choking a motherfucker like Vader does. Because Vader will just pick you up and break your neck. He doesn't give a fuck.
Doesn't care.
You know. And Kylo, he wants to have that same power that Snoke. He's projecting it.
Well, so let's not beat around the bush here. It's, Palpatine, right? It's not Snoke, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're considering this film independently. That's the way you're looking at it? You're thinking of it like in its own right rather than...
At this point, yeah.
Okay.
At this point,
so,
for this specific, yeah.
But my point is that that's also what the Emperor did.
True.
As far as having a mental cap on somebody, making sure, because he was doing the same thing to Anakin the whole time.
True.
Palpatine was doing the same thing to the Senate. Palpatine was doing the same thing to Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean
that theory is to be believed. Yeah. Well, and he was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's real, dude. Yeah. That's real.
Well, he just knows how to manipulate people. Like, that's part of. Like,
that's his thing, which is what I'm saying about Snoke. Is I think that leads into the character of Snoke. Like, absolutely. He's doing the same thing that Palpatine would be doing.
Was doing originally.
Because is there anything else we need to cover specifically? Maz Kanata.
Maz Kanata is still badass. Pretty much any of the aliens, any of the background guys, any of the characters are absolutely wonderful in this movie. Like, they did a really good job as far as, like, character design.
Poe's dope.
Like Poe.
Like, the funny thing about Poe is I don't feel like he is a Han Solo replacement.
No, absolutely not.
But I feel like he's a perspective of the rebels. That he's more like if Wedge was actually a main character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's more like that than trying to be Han Solo.
Well, because you already had a Han Solo.
You already had Han Solo.
He starts to fill more of the Han Solo shoes, I think, by the third one.
Yeah.
But by this point, you're right. It's really more like if one of the random Red Squadron guys was an actual character. And
what's
not
up,
just
Gold Leader?
Cannon fodder. Yeah.
So the I like Leia in this movie. I mean, I feel like she doesn't do a lot. I actually kind of feel like Leia in general, they kind of just put her in there because you should.
Yeah.
They didn't use her as effectively as they could have. She of course would be the general. She of course would be in that position. I think they did a good job with that. I think it makes sense what she's doing. But what did she really do?
Well, and I think that's just more of the way that they had this new trilogy planned out was Force Awakens is Han's movie. Last Jedi is Luke's movie. And then the Rise of Skywalker was supposed to be more Leia
and
focused.
Yeah.
Which
they did a good job with what they had.
But
man, it could have been so much more.
Yeah.
And
we'll get into that a little bit later, guys. For now, kick the tires and light the fires. It's time for Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, which is funny because there's not a Jedi in this movie.
Not really. I mean, Luke is still a Jedi.
Well, but the last one isn't there yet. That's all I'm saying. So, before we talk about Last Jedi, I actually wanted to bring a couple of things up. I found out some pretty cool things. So, the Disney merger that happened
with Lucasfilm?
With Lucasfilm.
Specifically?
Yes, with Lucasfilm. caused the LucasArts game brand to fall off, right? And that's really shitty because the LucasArts game brand wasn't just Star Wars. I mean, the old point and click
adventure games like Monkey Island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the classic old ones like Indiana Jones, stuff like that, So that entire, branch just pretty much got dropped off the map because they didn't want I mean, all of that stuff as far as Star Wars stuff was side story. It was never considered real canon,
Yeah, it was just kind of off to the side, like, hey, here's other things that are happening in the galaxy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there happened to be I don't know. I mean, some of the things kind of accented what was going on, but still,
Yeah.
But two of the games that were concepted before it got completely dropped were a game, a Republic Commando 2 that was going to be Order 66.
Oh.
Yeah. So it would have been you being the Republic Commandos murdering Jedi.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then the other
I don't
one.
know if that's cool or
sounds pretty cool to me. And then the other one was Force Unleashed 3.
Okay, cool. I can get behind that.
Yeah, and
like I said in the last one, I really enjoyed the time that I spent with Force Unleashed, even though it wasn't necessarily too terribly deep. But
no, it's not deep, but it's dope.
It was just fun throwing around a lightsaber.
And it really is unleashed Force.
Yeah. And
that might be part of the reason that I don't have an issue with the way the Force is used in The Last Jedi, which I think is a point of contention with some people. They feel like with this whole new trilogy, there have been these, we just made up Force powers. Well,
they've kind of always done that.
That's kind of the way this fucking series works. I mean, in every facet of it, all right?
Yeah.
Because this is not hard and fast rules. There are no solid rules as far as the way the Force goes.
Exactly.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's
kind of the, on a more cynical note, the Force is kind of like the Deus Ex Machina of the Star Wars universe. Pretty much. It's just
it just works.
The writers write themselves into a hole. It's like, wait, how are we gonna get these guys out of here? The Force. The Force did this.
But still, I mean, all in all, I don't mind the newer versions of the Force powers.
Well, I like. Okay, so what are the new Force powers in this one? There's the link. Right. That's kind of established.
Which I have an idea about that, but let's get to that.
Which I guess could have in some ways been established in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, in Jedi,
as far as in between Luke and Leia.
In between Luke,
but it wasn't
Luke and
as
Leia,
strong.
It also they didn't really show it the way that. She had knowledge that she shouldn't have had that apparently was transposed to her from Luke mentally, right?
Yeah.
That's really all we got. We didn't get real communication,
They didn't transfer physical objects in between each other.
That's that is pushing it.
Yeah.
That's kind of pushing it.
But and then there's the force projection from Luke at the end.
Force projection, totally. Yeah.
But
also, for instance, the way that Snoke bounces force lightning off the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, that's dope. Or
he
how about
checks force lightning?
Yeah, he checks force lightning, man. Or then also the way that it's not communication; it's like a force, the force telekinesis thing through space. Because he fucking grabs Hux.
Like using the force like really long distance over long.
Yeah, that hasn't been precedented before, exactly.
Not really. Yeah. No, you pretty much have to be in the same room of whatever rocks you're moving around. Pretty much.
So, I actually did a good job of making some notes this time, guys.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna try to do this in the future because apparently it's a good idea.
Yeah. We've been told.
Yeah. So we're just gonna start from the beginning because I pretty much did these, as the film was going on, so we have chronological notes. Okay, I did not notice that Poe during the little banter at the beginning.
Oh yeah, it calls
him General Hugs.
General Hugs.
And every time, dude. And every time Hux responds, he says Hux. Yes, this is Hux.
And directly after he's more forcefully.
Yeah, I'm looking for Hugs. Where's General Hugs? He just wanted general hugs. He didn't actually want that guy. He just generally wanted a hug.
Yeah. A very general hug.
That's it, man. Not a general hug. Like a side hug. Like you can give him a nice Christian side hug, you know? It's good.
This isn't like hug between friends.
No,
this is just like, kind of an acknowledgement.
Cordial hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're supposed to do this, right? Kind of hug.
This is okay.
So
we got enough room for Jesus in this hug.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You got to leave some room for Jesus. So that situation though, and we talked about this on the last podcast.
Yeah.
But we've been going back and forth on this a lot because I realized Scott got a little heated at me for not understanding how much Poe fucked up.
Yeah.
So I started thinking about it, and okay, yeah, immediately he disobeys the orders of Leia. Like General Organa is directly going, "Hey, Poe, don't do that shit. You are making a bad move," and he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all.
Yeah, he switches the comm off and goes and
does some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And kills a bunch of people.
Gets a bunch of people killed.
Gets a bunch of people killed. Yeah.
Wording, man.
Yeah, you're right. So the thing about it, like, it's hard for me. It was hard for me to see that this was such an egregious error earlier on watching the film because I feel like the rebels always make shitty plans.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is business as usual. They're just getting fucked.
This is just how the rebels roll, man.
This is how it happens every time.
Just throw more ships. Do we have more ships?
Apparently.
Throw more ships out.
I don't know where we got them, but yeah, we do. We fucking, taped a couple more together.
Right. Taped it. If you can't duck it, fuck it.
Which, speaking of this situation, okay, this brings up my next point here. Okay. Who the hell is building all these ships if there aren't any fucking aliens?
True.
So let's talk about this, man. Because where are the aliens?
Yeah, because, at first we were trying to keep count. We got a couple of Mon Calamaris real early, and that's probably
But they're on Admiral Akbar's ship, so of course he has Mon Calamari on his ship.
Exactly.
But even that ship in prior, movies, you saw more diverse of a crowd.
Yeah.
And I feel like this weird thing happened with this film. And I guess all three of them. I guess not as much in the other two though. Like I feel like there are way more aliens.
There are way more
in the other two.
Yeah, and they're more central characters than like, being kind of to the background. I think that was.
Well, it's like he was trying to push this whole wokeness as far as all inclusive, and I totally get the understanding of like, hey, we want to have a more representative, like, hey, look, everybody's getting along in outer space. I got that. Aliens should be there too.
Yeah.
Okay, because Twi'leks are cool and Iridonians are cool.
There weren't any Twi'leks because you said that earlier.
There are no Twi'leks.
There are no Twi'leks, and I thought there was one. I thought there was one in like the background walking up like the stairs to the casino, but I did not. Yeah, in Canto Bight, but I did not see her this time.
There's some cool looking creatures in Canto Bight.
That's probably the only time that there really is a significant amount.
But they're all tertiary, man. Like none of them matter. None of them matter at all, except for the one little coin dude trying to shove money and
So yeah, the Finn Bacta tank. So
because they use Bacta twice in this movie.
Yeah, once on Leia, once on Finn,
which is cool because that's exactly what we were talking about good fan service.
Yeah,
is
like what is actually good fan service? What in this? Because this movie does fan service really well.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, so I like. But the Finn Bacta tank, that's like a suit. It's like a Bacta suit.
Yeah, and who knows how the mechanics of that works? Yeah. But it's at least cool that they reference the Bacta system.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what happens with the Bacta?
No,
what it brings you back to life. I got jokes.
Back to life.
What was another? Another really good use of fan service. When R2-D2 uses the message from A New Hope.
Oh yeah.
To guilt Luke.
Totally.
Into training Rey.
Like, hey man.
Remember this shit?
Why this all happened anyway?
Yeah.
Come on. Don't you remember the first movie, dude?
Right. You remember the first movie
Before they
you
was called A New Hope. Don't you remember?
I remember the first movie. You remember? We remember it.
The mental bridge thing, right? I want to talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, the connection between Kylo and Rey.
Yeah, the connection between Kylo and Rey, man.
Yeah.
There's, because like you were talking about, it's something that's kind of a new force power.
It's It's
But
pretty.
I feel like it's an evolution of a current concept.
It's definitely not too far reaching.
It's not.
It's
a step. It's not a jump.
Exactly.
And
you've seen precursors to this in previous movies, essentially.
Yes. And I think that this all falls in line with like what you were talking about with the communication between Leia and Luke and Jedi.
Yeah.
And also every time that Vader would read Luke's mind. I think that's part of this. I also think that this is part of the reason I say the Vader thing. So I've talked about this to you before, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this concept in the first podcast.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
probably.
sure I did with Dooku. So Dooku using Makashi. One of the Makashi techniques is Dunmak, and Dunmak is actually to get inside somebody's mind, figure out what messes with them, and then repeat it to them so that you're breaking their willpower, so that then you can catch them in a screwed up spot and stab them.
Yeah.
It's
it's shit talking for
shit
Sith.
Talking. That's it. It's Sith talking, man.
It's Sith talking.
That's what it is. Okay, it's Sith talking, and I kind of think if you think about what Dunmak is, if it's a bridge into someone's brain, right?
Yeah.
The way that the Sith use it is to just dive in there. It's also the way that the Sith have used to try to pull thoughts out of people's brains.
Well,
I think this is all Dunmak.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense because it was Snoke that actually made that bridge.
Yes,
Yeah.
But I think once the channel was open, it's just open.
It's just open.
Yeah, because I think they innately understand the way this just works now.
So he just built the bridge and was just like, you'll just let these crazy kids do what they do.
Yeah. Oh, watch out, they're playing on a bridge. But
better look out now. They're playing on a bridge.
They'll learn.
They'll learn eventually.
But I think that just to kind of bring this full circle, I feel like it's a Dunmak situation. What was going on in Jedi was at the very end, when he showed up and he's like, "You've constructed a new lightsaber.
Yeah.
Impressive." And all that stuff, So what he's doing during that, and then the preceding fight, the whole time he's in Luke's mind and he's going, you betray, your friends, this is how you're feeling, let go, all this shit. And the whole time, but in that hallway, what does Luke do? Because he's of clear mind, he looks right back at him. He's like, "No, your feelings betray you, Father."
Yeah.
Because he can see him. And to me, I think that's exactly what's going on here. It's just over a distance.
Yeah.
And that might be one of the biggest things that they're establishing here with the Force is that distance does not matter.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about the Force in a semi try to be real physics kind of way, then you could think about it as working like a black hole, working like a some kind of thing that operates out of space-time and in time-space. So if that happened, then it doesn't really matter as far as location.
It doesn't matter how far away you are.
Yeah, it'd still be able to pierce the where it is.
If it's a energy that flows through everything and connects everything, that only makes sense that distance would not be a factor.
Because it's just like a nervous system between all things, right? So you just go, "Oh, my toe." Well, that's the other side of that.
Yeah. My toe's force sensitive.
Force toe. But I really think that it's just a evolution of the skills that are being used in Dunmak. Dunmak is just the traditional way that it is used.
Yeah.
But these motherfuckers don't know Dunmak anyway, so
yeah, they ain't worth. Luke didn't even read the Jedi text.
He didn't read them.
Page turners, they are not.
This is one of my favorite lines in this whole movie.
It's really good. Yeah. What you think about Leia's resurrection?
About whether or not, I'm glad she didn't die in this movie.
Yeah, because I do like her in the next movie.
Yeah, I'll say my piece with that
when we get
there. But I like the thing about Leia's, I guess, getting blown into space and then Mary Poppins in her way back onto the ship. I'm fine with it because it's really the only time, and now unfortunately literally the only time that we'll ever get to see Leia use the Force, and if it's
you are
that's
right
kind of my only real stance on it, because it's like it's Leia. She never uses the Force. This is the only time we're going to get to see it. So, I mean,
and just because
it may look really goofy, but it's awesome at the same time.
She did supercalifragilisticexpialidocious her way into that shit, though.
Spoonful of sugar will help your blue milk go down.
So man, I really liked that part when Chewie is
about to eat one of the pogs. Yeah.
And then they just look fucking horrified, just absolutely horrified. It's the best. That's some of my favorite puppeteering, and I know it's 3D, but it has a puppety quality to it. I don't know how they.
Those are puppets.
No shit.
Yeah,
man.
Those
are really well done.
Really,
puppets,
really
dude.
well done. When one of those, is it pogs or porgs?
I don't know.
Might be porgs.
Might be porgs.
Might be porgs. Either way, whatever. These chicken things, the dodo chicken things, when they're stationary, they're puppets, and when you see them kind of flying around, that's when they go.
So
digital.
him making that terrible face as a puppet.
Yeah.
God, that's so great. I'm impressed.
He's just so sad.
I'm super impressed.
The best puppy dog puppet.
Yeah, really, man.
Yeah.
Puppet eyes. Yeah. I really like it that Kylo Ren's hair isn't all perfect and feathery this time, because in the first movie he was looking fucking,
just glamorous.
Absolutely, just cover of the magazine, Sith Monthly, looking fresh all day. He's got to have his space Instagram on lock on whatever word people use.
Never know when you're gonna need a professional. What is it? The face shot.
Yeah, you need headshots, man.
Headshots. Kylo Ren's always got to be. Well,
too bad he needs headshots, because stormtroopers can't hit shit.
Too good.
Yeah, you take some of them. I don't want to.
Yeah.
We'll cut this out.
No, we won't.
We'll leave it in.
We'll just leave this in. So I guess this is what I was gonna get to anyway. So Rey's lightsaber training.
Yeah,
she pretty much just does herself.
Yes, she pretty much trains herself how to use a lightsaber, which I'm not super happy with, but that's only because I like the traditional forms and stuff. But if she's proficient with a melee weapon already, then
the thing is like, and I kind of felt this way this last time. These last few times watching this trilogy again, the lightsaber fights are really, really kind of weak. They really are.
I like them less than the saber fights in the
original
trilogy.
I like them emotionally,
sure,
to some degree. Not in this movie. Like the one in the throne room is a little lacking in.
It's a little hokey, man.
It's a little hokey
in the bad way.
It's kind of. It's really just kind of like, okay, well, we need a lightsaber fight. We'll just throw it in here.
Yeah, and we'll just throw completely useless dudes that aren't trying that hard, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, the meat hole is cool.
Yeah.
Just confetti through that
How
boy
to make
in there.
space confetti.
Yeah.
Throw a red dude into a meat
hole.
Into a meat hole.
That's a meat hole, in case you guys didn't know.
But yeah, so when she's training.
Yeah.
You know.
I like it how, you can tell, but like you're saying, that she has
some sort of melee weapon like skills already.
Because she just picks it up and starts going, hey, I can work with this.
And she's like, well, and when she first starts doing her swings, she's not really going very fast. She's just kind of really like figuring out where she can put the lightsaber without
where her tolerances are.
Yeah.
Maybe she was peeping those books. Let's think about that. Maybe she'd been looking at them books.
Maybe she'd been sneaking off
and kind of reading them.
Because she did jack those motherfuckers without anybody else knowing.
You know? I mean, so that sounds pretty plausible. She could have actually been training herself, like for real. Probably. Training herself. Maybe she read those books more than Luke did.
What do you think about that, Master Skywalker?
I don't like the idea that they burned down the temple. That bitch was made of rocks. You could see it in the
Luke's
background.
Temple? Yeah.
Like, I'm going to burn down this fucking, concrete building.
How do rocks burn?
Man, I'm telling you, they pulled some bullshit. That's what they did.
That was with the...
that's forced fire.
That's interesting. Fire. That's something I wanted to bring up. So the multiple tellings...
of that
situation. Like at first Luke is straight lying.
Yeah.
Or at the very least omitting specific bits of information.
Well, because he doesn't want to look like a piece of shit.
Really? Because he was looking...
That's a little bit worse of a piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
That's like because before it's more...
He was pretty grimy before then.
Well, but he was grimy at like a distance. Like he was like, oh, well, whatever. This is more like hands-on grimy right here. This is bad.
This might not be okay. I gotcha.
They gonna say something to me about this.
But then what was the next time? Then Kylo tells Rey about it, and it's from a perspective of Luke was definitely about to kill him.
Yeah, that's the way that Kylo sees it. But if you think about Kylo waking up in the middle of the night, of course he felt that way.
Yeah.
Of course he did. He's like, why is this man standing over me with a lightsaber other than to kill me?
Yeah.
That's the only, right? Was Luke fermenting that milk and getting fucked up? And he just got drunk when I was, oh, fuck this kid. Did he tried to pull a, oh man, what's that guy's name? Damn it. No, it's not Donovan. It's, oh, come on. What's Guts' father's name?
I can't remember his name.
It's Italian. I know it. It's that Italian name.
Italian name.
I don't remember. But yeah.
Yeah.
That Guts' father's.
Guts' father running into the tent, drunk as piss.
You're useless. And then he woke up. Well, so of course he's going to react the same way. And that's pretty much the exact same way Guts reacted. Except, it was a...
Yeah.
I don't think that Luke meant to at all.
No.
And I do think that Luke's story makes sense, but I also...
Well, if you think about it,
he's got to be hiding something about it, right?
Well, I think that the last time that Luke tells the story, I think he's absolutely telling the truth.
Well, the thing I don't understand is the concept that Snoke has been fucking with Kylo this whole time. I guess I don't see how he has knowledge of this, how he would, you know what I mean? Like how was Snoke getting to him? Was Snoke just projecting into his brain the way that he'd been doing? Is that what's going on?
It's possible. If you think about the way that Palpatine kind of influenced Anakin, especially towards the end or the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, or even Attack of the Clones, there's a strong possibility that instead of necessarily accidentally peering into the future, that Anakin was having certain images being projected
implanted?
Implanted.
Fucking Force Inception.
Yeah, Force Inception.
Yeah, you're kind of right about that, actually.
So that doesn't seem like too far of a stretch that Snoke would be able to do that.
Let me see. What does it say?
We've lost the frigate.
Oh yeah, we've lost the frigate.
We've lost the frigate.
That's what it says. It says we've lost the frigate. I was just more making.
So when the ships are falling off,
we've lost the frigate. It's like Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron,
and
that's what it was.
There's just this one goddamn mission where, like, it's just that. We've lost the frigate!
Yeah.
The whole time. We've lost the frigate! We've lost the frigate! And that's what I remember.
That's the entire level.
I just wanted to share that we've lost the frigate. And in case you didn't know, we lost the frigate. The medical frigate. We lost the frigate. The frigate. Canto Bight is fucking useless.
Yes.
And upon watching this time, I finally proved it to Scott that every single thing about Canto Bight, the characters involved, and the plot around it is useless to this film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never said that Canto Bight wasn't a dumb scene.
Oh yeah. It's the pod racing of this movie.
It's the pod racing of this movie. It is the stupid Star Wars action scene that does not matter.
That's right. It's the shitty thing. And so in that matter, the only thing I'm going to say is the coin guy is cool, and there are cool aliens.
There are cool aliens.
Other than that, you can skip it.
Yeah.
You can
don't
just
even
skip
need it.
those parts of the movie.
Well, if you didn't have that, then you wouldn't get BB-8 in a Walker.
Okay.
So,
I got
so
you. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, at least some of it.
Yeah,
trim some of it out.
The ATST that's
ATST.
Like yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
So that's a good scene.
Yeah, because it's like taken apart. That's totally a dope one.
Yeah.
Oh, so I just built that cart.
Oh yeah,
you skipped that one, didn't you?
I missed the. Oh dude, that's one of my favorite scenes. Ray's just swinging her lightsaber around, accidentally cuts that rock,
and it falls on those poor little things.
Those poor keepers, man. She's just not like making a good first impression with these guys.
They will not invite her.
They're
back.
not. They're not happy with her at all. I just built that cart.
To me, it feels like this place is like a bed and breakfast that she is just ruining. Like she's just fucking with it. You know? Like, God damn.
The owners
we gotta stop renting this place.
How much longer do we have to deal with this tenant? They keep going to Luke. Hey, look, man. Gotta calm your friend down. We let you stay here for free.
I like this Luke's critique of the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the whole.
He pretty much says that they didn't even see that Darth Sidious was coming because they were too up their own ass. That's kind of what he said.
Yeah.
You know? And I actually agree with that. I was kind of talking to somebody else about how, if you really think about it, the Jedi Council, it was at a point of control where it's like Mace Windu didn't trust anybody.
Yeah.
And he basically had everything on lockdown.
Right.
Even the progress of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It almost became like a fascist regime. It almost became that level of,
Yeah.
Even though they were calling it a republic, it was as though it was a republic on the surface that was actually being controlled by a fascist military force that was the Jedi, which is why Palpatine had such ease making people go, hey, why are we listening to these weird religious fanatics that are controlling us this way? Like, he has a real good fucking point. Like it's a real good point.
Yeah.
They became the bad guys over time.
Yeah, real close.
So
I don't know. I just like Luke overall in this movie.
I do like Luke. And you said something about the mirror, right?
Oh.
So when Luke goes into the mirror.
When Luke goes into the mirror, that's in
Empire.
In Empire. He sees Vader, but it's also a reflection of himself.
That's right.
Or what he could be.
Uh-huh.
When Rey, in this movie, Rey essentially goes in there looking for anything that she can find about her parents and ends up seeing herself. I like that a lot because it kind of shows that what she's not really looking for her parents.
No.
She's looking for herself in a way. And that's what that scene really means for me.
I didn't think about it like
because
hey, don't worry about your parents, worry about you.
Well, it's not even that. It's because so later on in the film, when Kylo's like, come with me, blah blah blah, you know who your parents are. I mean, it's this, and like to some degree, I guess she would kind of know that maybe her parents were never coming back for her, blah, 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 to some degree, real deep in her subconscious. And that's what the mirror did, was dig into her subconscious.
Yeah.
You know? And showed her what the mirror's the oracle of the Star Wars universe, you know?
Yeah. Everybody has to look into themselves to find it, though. It's like it's like the spirit journey, you know? It's like that kind of idea.
Exactly.
The iron scene.
The iron scene? Yeah, when it's coming down.
It looks like it's some kind of ship that's dropping, like it's like a Slave One or something. It's like,
who's flying the iron?
Yeah, no, it's an iron. And it's
that is such a genius transition. Holy shit, it's so good. I love it. Always reminds me of Fully Cooley.
So I got to talk about. Oh, dude, yeah.
Medical Mechanica.
Yeah, totally. Yep. Conquer the left side and you conquer the world.
You know.
I'm so pissed off about Captain Phasma, man.
About the way she dies? Well, I mean, as previously established, most characters that have cool armor, they just die in really whack ways, dude.
That's just a trope.
That's a Star Wars trope, man.
There's not.
I really wish they would have used Phasma a little bit better throughout. Personally,
I love Brienne of Tarth so much. I love that actress. She's so amazing. And she says all of like fucking 10 things in the entire series.
I mean, that fight scene between her and Finn before is pretty okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not great.
It's not great. No. It's not great, just like the fight scene in Snoke's throne room. And I also don't really understand how Snoke didn't see the lightsaber thing coming. I still don't get that.
Okay,
I still don't get it. Because I saw that he was doing things with both of his hands, but you're telling me this motherfucker can force control shit across space, and he can do all this shit and has full control of all obviously is a Sith badass.
Yeah.
You didn't see that coming.
I don't know. I mean, like...
So unless we're trying to tie this into the theory of the next movie... Which still, guys, we've looked for evidence to see.
Still haven't seen it.
There's no evidence that they had the idea about Palpatine before this. There just is not.
There's not because they didn't, man. Because they didn't. They shoved him in as a fix.
He's a fucking Sith shoe-in.
He's a bad example of fan service.
Yeah.
Like his whole role, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will. We'll get to that next time.
What else?
Let me see. There aren't a whole bunch more things I have on here. The Rey's parents. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I thought this was kind of cool. Is that the idea that the reason that he said what he did about Rey's parents, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's the worst thing or the best thing that she could have heard. It's either the worst or the best, because it's the worst because it disappointed her, but it's the best because it helped her move on.
True.
Right.
But I mean, even in that moment,
did she believe it?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I think it's obvious. Like that would have been the worst thing that she could.
Worst thing. Your parents are nothing.
Yeah, because even though she went through like the whole spirit journey, she still didn't comprehend exactly what that meant.
No.
And you can see her break.
Yeah.
After she says it herself when Kylo is pretty much just say it. It's like they were nobody, and you can see it in her face how much it hurt her to even just say or think that. And then the rest of the dialogue from Kylo is him just twisting the knife.
Yes.
Because he's trying to turn her at that point.
That's Dun Mok right there.
Yeah.
That is exactly Dun Mok.
It's all Dun Mok.
It's all Dun Mok. Well, I really do feel like the only saber styles that you ever see any of them or that you ever see Kylo Ren do is Makashi and Jim So, from the way I'm looking at it. But he's real sloppy because he obviously wasn't trained completely, right? So that's fine, but when he does maneuvers, they're mostly in those two styles because he likes aggressiveness, and he occasionally does one hand.
So the final fight with him and Luke.
You talking about Juke Skywalker?
Juke Skywalker.
Juke Skywalker over there.
This dude is just limboing all over the place.
So that right there, he's using a Taru. Like he's absolutely using that like flip around style of movement. Now,
he just ain't got no flips.
Yeah, he doesn't have the flips, but he's still doing dashes and stuff like that, which is a high movement is Ataru. That's exactly what that shit is right there. And I think it's a very cool fight scene. That's probably the best one out of the entire movie right there. That's the good one.
Absolutely.
And it's not even a real
fight
scene.
It's not even real. Well, he doesn't really make like contact.
No, it's not a fucking fight scene. It's a dodge scene.
It's that like shit you see in those old kung fu movies where the master is fighting
Pai Mei. It's Pai Mei from Kill Bill.
Yeah, exactly. So
what if your enemy is only an inch away from you? Will you curl up in a ball and die?
Yeah, it's that shit.
That shit's so good. They had to do that like the Millennium Falcon shouldn't do that moment.
Oh yeah, when they're going through the planet. I
was like, oh yeah, I guess it's gonna scrape a little bit. Oh yeah, that happens.
It's fine. We'll just put another dish on there.
Whatever. Chewie's just.
We've replaced so many dishes.
Oh man. Okay, the Independence Day moment, right?
Oh, with that big laser.
That was cool, and I thought he was just gonna fly into it, which would have been kind of a cool end for Finn. But I also understand why they didn't want to get rid of him. I thought that what's her name died.
Oh,
Rose.
I thought that too the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
But obviously,
she doesn't because of the next movie.
Well, and you see her.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, at the end of this one. Like, she's not awake. She's unconscious, but you see she's not in the back of the tank or anything. They just put her on the ship, and you see Finn, like, cover up with a blanket or something.
That's not a dead maneuver?
No, I mean...
you, like, tuck her in.
Okay.
Like,
tell a story, you know?
Yeah, okay. I got it. I thought it was like that.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Not the, tag this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I like it that the solo dice.
Oh
he gives her the solo dice.
Yeah, Luke gives Leia,
and the bullet storm when they shoot him up makes me think of Helsing.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Well, like, when Helsing just gets wrecked by bullets and then just morphs back in. What is this? All you have?
Yeah, I'm good. Whatever.
I do like that, like, kind of dismissive, like, shoulder brush that Luke does. That's
exactly, dude. It's dope. Salt.
Yeah,
which is what that whole planet is covered of. Salt. I think that's actually a metaphor.
Luke is the saltiest Jedi,
and that's why he went to the saltiest planet, and they just poured salt on the First Order
all over the.
You saw how salty Kylo was at the end.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the fun. Man, I think it's a big metaphor. Salt is the end of that movie. The end of that movie is salt. Think about that shit. Think about that.
That puts a whole new light on the discourse spin of this movie. They knew how salty people were going to be. That's why they set the whole last
scene. Salt. The end of this movie is salt.
Nothing but it.
Ryan Johnson might be a secret genius. So
that's awesome.
The only other thing that, like, I really had to say is how does she fix the saber? How does she fix her saber?
In between this movie
and the
and
next
the next one.
Yeah, because she gets another saber.
Dude,
man.
She fixes that saber.
Yeah,
because she's fighting with Luke's saber,
with the same saber, and it doesn't even look fucked up in the next movie.
Yeah,
it's like they just forgot about this minor detail of it being cut in half.
Well,
and the crystal being completely fucked up. You know,
man, I feel like I don't want to say too much before we go see it again. But
yeah.
You know, I really feel like there was a greater emphasis on placating to bitchy fans in the next movie and quote unquote trying to fix Jedi as much as
Hey man, Salt Planet. That's all I gotta say.
It's just
Salt Planet.
I'll save it for next time. But anyways, overall, really good movie.
Yeah, man. You know,
I said this
after I've watched it. This is the fourth time I've watched it. So after the fourth time I've watched it, I've realized the only thing that I really don't like about the movie is Canto Bight.
That's it.
Everything else about the movie is fucking fine.
Yeah.
There might be some little, they could have.
See, and you're a little bit better, or you're a little bit more favorable towards the whole Hodo Poe situation now.
Now I am, because I get what you mean as far as Poe is being a jerk and did kind of get a bunch of people killed.
Yeah, and Hodo's supposed to be untrustworthy to us in the audience
because
that's why
they're
she
pulling
acts
like
the
a
way
thing on you.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be rooting for Poe the entire time.
I didn't catch that device.
Yeah,
I really just took it for face value. But when you see it, you're like, oh, they don't want you to like Hodo.
It's okay. So run this experiment with me, and I know I've said this to you before, but I just want you to really think about this. So take all of Hodo's scenes, every one of them, lines, dialogue, mannerisms, and all. Yeah. Replace Hodo with Leia. Would you have been as distrusting of Leia in those situations?
Well, no, because she has precedent.
Right.
That's really what it is. So that's why they did it the way they did it. Because they wanted somebody that doesn't have precedent.
Because that was the thing that I said coming out of the theater when I saw this, is that, because I didn't like the Hodo thing. Yeah. Because I didn't pick up on any of this stuff. And I had said, well, why didn't they just give that role to Leia? She would have had a good death. It would have been really cool. I didn't really like this lady. She's a jerk. She's mean to Poe. And shit like that. And like the more I thought about it, and the more I realized, oh, that's why Leia didn't do it. Is we're not supposed to be trusting her at this
because
point.
They don't want you to know that she actually has a solid plan. Yeah. Because her plan isn't to do the maneuver. Her plan is actually just to hold the focus from the first.
She's trying. Okay, so they're running from the First Order. Yeah. They have all these different ships. Mm-hmm. Each ship throughout the as it loses fuel is all the people are filtering into this main lead ship, and once they get everybody,
we lost the frigate.
Yeah. Once they lose the frigate,
once they lose that frigate,
she's trying to funnel everybody into this one ship. That way they can, cloak the essentially the escape transports, and head towards this planet.
The salt planet.
The salt planet, while the First Order is following the one big ship. Yeah. And the only reason that plan fucks up is because Finn and Rose went and got caught.
I feel like there's a lot of delay in that plan, and maybe it's just to pad the story, just to have things keep going. So I feel like there is a lot of time that it seems like, oh, well, maybe more should have happened by now. Right. But it's not too a terrible fault. It's more just like I said, these are more minor to medium issues that I have with the movie. There's really nothing big other than Canto Bight. That's it. That's the only thing I don't like at this point. Yeah. Wholeheartedly do not like.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
we can all hate Canto Bight together.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because now I see.
Yeah.
Now, because before I was just like, oh, well, Canto Bight's kind of long, but it's important, right?
No.
It's not.
Nothing that happens with Canto Bight equals to anything. The characters you meet don't fucking matter. Every bit of that mission doesn't accomplish anything. They don't even meet the guy they were supposed to, which, by the way, it looked to me like the guy that they were supposed to meet was Justin Theroux. Who's Bryce from American Psycho. So I was actually also he's the DJ in Zoolander, the one with the dreads. Man. Isn't that funny?
I forgot about that.
But that's about all I really have to say about this one.
No. Still my favorite of the trilogy. Really, really high up in the overall Star Wars movies for me personally.
Other than Canto Bight, now that I'm really looking at it, I think I like it better than Force Awakens. Other than Canto Bight,
I like it better than Force Awakens. I still maintain that Force Awakens is probably the most easily rewatchable of all three.
It's a fun movie.
You know,
it's a very fun, easy to watch movie.
Yeah, and not that this movie isn't necessarily that easy to watch.
There's something about Force Awakens having a very streamlined story and stuff.
It's very you can just kind of zone out and get you some popcorn and have a good time. This one tries to make you think. Like, you kind of have to be in a specific art. You know.
Well, hey man, they tried to hit the Empire on you.
Yeah. That's why it's good. So now we come to the end of the trilogy. It's time for the Rise of Skywalker.
Man, we come to the end of 3 trilogies.
Well, the end of this specific trilogy that we are currently talking about. Yeah, but yes, the end of 9 movies, essentially.
9 films.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just address this couple of things, okay?
Yeah.
So we've recorded these over the course of 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah, so that we could have time to watch the movies together and then directly record a podcast. So we've just had to, schedule time.
Right.
And today, we went and watched Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
For the third
saw
time.
it. Saw it again.
Time,
second time. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
You've seen it more than I have.
Yep. Well, I mean, I saw parts of it because I go to Korean rap. But I really the only reason I got that, no shit, is just so I could watch the Babu Frick part like 17 more times.
Hey!
He was so excited. Fuck.
He's really good, man. Okay, so like I was telling you earlier, and like I said on the podcast before, I feel like seeing this movie a second time made me appreciate it more. And it was because I was going into it knowing that it was going to end up being ultimately a mediocre Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
But
you didn't have as high expectations.
I didn't have those expectations. But the previous week I had been thinking about it and having to watch this movie again. And just kind of turning the wheels in my head to kind of understand what I remembered about it. And I started feeling like, man, I don't want to see this movie again. Like, I really don't like this movie. Like, I don't think seeing it a second time is going to, like, change that opinion. It's really kind of low bar as far as Star Wars in my opinion, but it's an enjoyable movie. Like, and that's why that's mainly what I came out of the theater this time with. It's like, it's at least an enjoyable movie. I don't feel like I wasted my money going and seeing it.
It's like Cap 2.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I like
2. It's like Iron Man.
It's like
2.
Iron Man 2.
That's really more what I mean.
Where you're like, because Winter Soldier was good, man.
You're right.
Real good.
Winter Soldier is good.
Yeah, but yes, Iron Man 2 is kind of it's fun to look at and it's well made, but it doesn't it works.
Hey, look, there's people that I know in it. Cool.
Yeah, but it's kind of
and you're also like, hey, what happened to Terrence Howard? Same thing I felt in the Star Wars film.
What happened to Terrence Howard?
What happened to Terrence Howard? They should have just had Terrence Howard as Lando.
Oh yeah,
that would have been great.
That would have been good. Yeah. So Billy D. Williams is having a good time.
Oh man, Billy D. Williams looks like he is just floating on his cape. Okay, that man is just.
He done got geek.
Got me on them Cloud City muscle relaxers.
Yeah, dude, he is just off in his. He's just having a blast off in his own world.
That's right. In his own little Bespin float over there. Yeah. Okay. So, what I was getting at before, though,
we're about to fly this Millennium Falcon into a sky full of Star Destroyers with laser dicks.
He's like, fuck it, man. How about you give me that?
Man, let's just do the
let's just do this. We're good. And Chewie's like, you're crazy. He's like, yeah, I am, Chewie.
So
I am relaxed. That's what I am, Chewie.
Real fun.
Yeah. So, but okay. So the thing that we've talked about this entire time. Was anything pointing towards not just like Rey being a Palpatine, but the Emperor returning throughout anything prior.
Any of these movies.
And no,
there absolutely is not.
No.
Yeah. All of it that ends up leading to that kind of stuff are actually is really kind of retroactive.
Yeah. It seems like they're filling the gaps.
In this movie,
it's not
in the third movie. Yeah, it's just like, oh, well, this could possibly tangentially relate to this thing.
Yeah.
So let's use that as a way of being like, see, we meant to do this. And no, Palpatine being, we know for a fact now that the original script, what is his name? Colin Trevorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the original Colin Trevorrow script leaked for what his plans for the Rise of Skywalker or the third movie would have been, because what was it called? Duel of the Fates.
Oh yeah, totally.
Actually, which right off the bat,
God, just it being called that is
it's
enough.
A better, yeah, it's a like.
And you see Rey with a saber staff, which actually makes way more fucking sense.
And Kylo was going to be positioned as the
new Emperor.
Well, he was as the central protagonist.
Yeah,
whereas
actually
Palpatine
the badass.
And
which would have been great if Kylo stepped it up to just being,
being evil.
Still, I don't mind the way he is in Rise of Skywalker.
Well, and that's what I was getting to. Is just as cool as I think that Duel of Fates would have been. I'm like I said to you earlier, I'm not going to spend my time pining over something that I'll never see.
Yeah, totally.
So, but that said, Rise of Skywalker is still a fun watch.
Yeah,
you just don't need to expect very much from it beyond that.
Totally.
So take from that what you will.
Yeah, but it's fine. That's the other thing. It's not.
It's like when Colin Trevorrow stepped down and they couldn't use his script. He wasn't going to direct anymore. They couldn't use the script. They pretty much was just like, well, shit, call J.J. Abrams. JJ, throw something together real quick. That
fix it.
Yeah, throw something together real quick that won't offend anybody. Yeah. That's pretty much what we got.
And the only people that it offended are the people that were paying attention. That's really it. Because I don't think the film. It's funny, like you were saying, Last Jedi actually has a fairly high rating.
Yeah.
And it seems like people in general liked that movie, but there was just contention because of the way it was thrown at you.
Yeah.
It messes with you, right?
Yeah, well, I feel like I don't feel like Jedi necessarily takes multiple watches to really figure out.
Not to figure out. No,
it's pretty straightforward, but it did take you down some pretty dark paths with these characters.
Yeah.
It was trying, it was the Empire of this trilogy. It has to, it has got to put our heroes at the lowest point.
Yeah.
I feel like they pulled that off really well, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it, and I would have loved to have seen more of those potential through lines, like character progression could have moved forward with this movie. I wish that would have been the case, but we still got some pretty decent stuff. Like, I still really like Rey. By the end of it, she's just kind of throughout this trilogy, more than a lot of characters in Star Wars, she's very straight arrow throughout. She definitely has an arc, but her personality doesn't really change.
Not really.
She doesn't really waver. Kind of like Kylo Ren. I feel like he kind of wavers a little bit. He goes back and forth between how he feels about things. Yeah,
as he was in the first movie.
No, not in this one.
And he also doesn't have perfect hair forever.
But he does. But he doesn't have perfect hair forever.
He did. He had perfect hair forever.
What was that? That was Force Awakens, because he was kind of
Force Awakens. He had that perfect hair every time he took that mask off. You're like, man, feathered like Daryl Hall.
Maybe he's got some kind of weird brush brush
system.
Yeah. Or maybe
the little
the
bot. There's a little bot in there.
Yeah, a little bot with does his hair.
Maybe it's a wig. I think that Kylo progresses well over the 3 films anyway.
Yeah.
Even in this one, but it's still back.
It kind of goes to the light side pretty goddamn easy.
But also, talking about Rey, she just has this. All the rest of the Jedi that you see have, like you're saying, like that, or Sith, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Including fucking Vader.
Yeah.
Okay. Have like a wavering, like, this.
Yeah.
And she doesn't at all.
Not really.
I mean,
she's pretty much straight arrow, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a little bit of a scare when she thinks that she kills Chewie. Other than that, like, what has she fucking done?
Yeah,
that was so bad.
That was really, yeah.
She fucked up those boys' cart.
Oh yeah,
and that was a new cart, man.
That was an accident, man.
Yeah,
they just built that cart.
Okay, but
it's kind of she shot holes in walls.
Yeah, like get more rocks, and come back and make fucking mortar.
Not like we're on an island of rocks or anything.
I have a lot of gardening to do. Okay.
Yeah. But okay, so let's talk about the Chewie death.
Yeah, well, was. Do you want to go over the thing? Because I do have the list.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do a list.
Yeah, because we can at least go point for point. So okay, so real quick, Kylo's quest at the beginning, right?
Okay.
What do you think about that whole like quick
shot
scene?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. It's different.
So Mustafar.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah, for real quick.
Yeah.
It just kind of appears and you're like, oh, it's Mustafar.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then moves on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because they show the temple, the Vader temple,
Yeah. How many people do you think would get that?
Man,
I think a good number. I think a pretty good number. I think people are pretty wise about Star Wars.
I think people that are fans, because I mean, Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah.
Is one of the big ones. It looks like Mustafar.
Yeah.
It's very
totally
obvious,
Yeah.
We have not
seen the movies, you can be like, oh, man, I bet that's the same lava planet.
And then, and you played this, that Vader VR.
Vader
Immortal.
Yeah.
It has, that directly in it, and that's a current title. And all 3 of the titles deal with Mustafar.
Well, you see it in Rogue One.
You also see it in Rogue One, yeah.
I mean, I would think that...
Mustafar's in
unknown quantity,
totally, so that's good fan service.
That's what I would call good fan service, because it doesn't shove your nose in it, and force you to look at it. Sorry,
did you just?
I lost height.
Yeah, you did.
Anyways, it doesn't shove your nose in it. It just kind of gives you a little pat on the back, and it's just like, hey man, you're good.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, I am good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good fan service.
I think that the Snoke clone reveal happens too quickly. Like the film. All of the other films
like
have this good intro scene where you're like, this thing's happening, and they let you like feel Star Wars for a second.
Yeah.
They're like, oh shit, I'm in Star Wars.
This one just kind of throws you in.
Yeah, they're just like, boom, boom, guess what? Snoke's a clone.
Well, and it feels like by the time Kylo gets into the temple after he's done roughing up those turtle head dudes.
Turtle head dudes.
Yeah. Like, once he gets done with that, and he gets to the Emperor, I feel like they're just kind of trying to like end as many plot points, like stop people from asking as many questions as quickly as possible.
That's kind of what it is. It's like, okay, this is some shit that happened. Here you go, boom, boom, boom.
Hey, you remember that thing from the last movie? This is why. Here you go.
So I still think it's a cool look, but
where
the fuck did that many ships come from? You saw how many ships there were in the sky.
Yeah.
It filled the seeable...
And it tore up the ground.
It tore up all the... Where the fuck's the planet anymore? This is a planet that, hold on, the Death Star crashed into. What?
No. I think that was a different planet. The water planet and the Sith planet aren't the same.
Oh,
yeah,
they're not. Oh, yeah, that's part of it. Wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
different planet,
Different
but no,
planet.
no. With that many Death Stars in the sky coming out of the ground, there would not be any planet left. There's literally a Sith temple floating around on a destroyed piece of rock, like in space, just kind of roll. Yeah.
But that's not what they were showing.
No.
There's still a planet there. Why were they underground? Who buries? And they were active? Like folks were in them? Because they were just driving after that. It's not like, you telling me they're not dirted up? You know?
Yeah.
I don't get this.
Man, I think that's one of those things you just kind of have to throw into like
cool.
the rule of cool.
Yeah, because,
that's why.
You know why? Because millions or hundreds of thousands of big ass Star Destroyers with cocks came out of the ground, and each one of them can blow up your planet. Each one of them. Okay, so yeah, I got it, but it's just fucking dumb. It's just fucking, yeah.
When you really start thinking about it, I mean, but when you really start thinking about all of this, it's all kind of dumb.
Yeah, but this one's particularly
really
just like
baffling.
Two steps in, dumb. One step, okay, this is kind of cool. Step two, wait. Uh-oh. We've encountered an issue. Just keep walking. It's fine.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
Man, okay, the game scene. I forget what the name of that game is.
The little space, the space chess, whatever that Chewie plays.
It's Pazak is the name of the card game. What the hell's the name of that? Man, I don't know. Yeah, but I
know what you're talking about. The Chewie's playing with Finn and Poe at the beginning. Yeah.
See, I think that's a good fan service. Scene.
That's a funny scene too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's not fan service in a way where it's like, hey,
we're not gonna turn it off. Why are you cheating?
Yeah. It's good.
It's good. It's good. It's nice little like character banter.
It is.
You know, and it's a good fun Chewie scene.
It makes me want like a Star Wars movie directed by Quentin Tarantino.
No,
something like that. You know, where it's just motherfuckers talking
the whole time,
just talking. Or Guy Ritchie. What if Guy Ritchie did
Guy Ritchie did it and you could just set it around what's that place on Tatooine?
Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley.
Oh my god.
Dude. I would watch that.
Ooh.
I would watch that. That would be great. Disney, get on this.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Yeah. Call Guy Ritchie.
Call it Mustafar.
Okay, so this is something that I talked to you about pretty early on. I came up with the title of it. Alien Compensation Syndrome.
Alien Compensations. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this one has, I don't know if it has more aliens than Force Awakens, because Force Awakens was pretty good.
No, but what I think that they did is immediately in this one they were like, look, we got aliens, all right, god damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. look, there's a slug guy that's helping out on
because there weren't a whole lot of aliens in Jedi.
Yeah, for some reason. Yeah. And that is one of the things I don't like. How the shittiest scene is the only scene with aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stupid humans.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you. I see you all the time.
Come on.
I want to see aliens.
Well, I feel like there was this thing with a lot of hard sci-fi, and there's a lot of hard sci-fi that had this, where they characterize the perils of human racism or human discrimination with paralleling that with like alien discrimination.
Aliens, because it's another.
And the cool thing about it is that because it's not you or me or someone else, anyone can feel the attachment to the situation involved. You can feel empathetic to this to this. It's kind of the way people feel so empathetic to animals.
Yeah,
it's not me or you, or it's not because we have some specific trait that makes us the same. Why I feel empathetic,
right?
It's something else, and you're like, oh, I understand. This is shitty for you.
Yeah,
and that's it. Yeah. That's it.
Well, it's visual. It's pretty much visual storytelling. There's a better specific term for this, but sometimes when when you have aliens, they're automatically colored other, and it's if you watch movies with aliens in them, depending on like how human their like structure, like facial features and like eyes in particular are, the more empathetic the audience is going to feel towards them. Whereas you get more abstract and more insect-like and like animal-like aliens are just really weird bullshit aliens. You don't feel as much sympathy for them. It's like visual shorthand.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you're doing. Because if you notice, like, all the good aliens in Star Wars have, like, you know, eyes, or they're more humanoid. You know,
that makes a lot of sense, and that's one thing they played with a lot with Mass Effect.
Yeah,
you know, because like the Turians, you remember Garrus?
Yeah.
The guy that, I don't know, I mean, what the hell do those things even look like? They don't look like anything from Earth.
Yeah.
At all. It's not like it's like, oh, this is a bug, or oh, this is a dog, or you're just like, well, it's a Turian.
Yeah.
That's what that shit is.
That looks terrible.
It's but they don't have human-like eyes. They don't have a human-like mouth. They have a weird, but they're very intelligent.
Yeah.
And they absolutely, you know, have the same set of feelings that we do. So there are situations where you get in where you're like, oh yeah, this thing's weird, I don't really trust it, and then all of a sudden it tells you something that you're like, oh, that's poignantly human. Shit. You know, I feel bad for judging you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
I have an existential crisis on my hands.
You're better than me.
Better just barrel through this.
But you know, I've always liked did you ever see Enemy Mine?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Enemy Mine's a good one, where it's like, oh, this nasty thing that's just trying to kill me, and then it's like, well, the nasty thing's pregnant, and it's not doing too well. I guess I gotta help it.
The nasty thing's pregnant. I guess I can't hate it too much.
And then it had a baby, and you're like, oh, it's a kind of a cute little nasty thing. Oh, well. Okay.
But yeah, there are a fair amount of aliens in this movie, and they're all pretty interesting.
Yeah. Agreed. I like the spy at the beginning, the one that, and you're right, when he cuts his head off and
he just throws it on the table. Dude, that shit is like boss, like mafia level boss.
Yeah, really, man. I know. That's some Tywin Lannister shit right there.
Yeah, dude.
Come in and stare at everybody in the room after he throws an enemy's head. He's like, yeah, I got a fucked up helmet. Dude, what you gotta say about it?
Dude,
Hugs.
He doesn't just force choke people. He force chokes them and then throws them on the ceiling.
He likes flinging folks. He wants to next level it. See, like,
he's gotta add that little extra bit of insult.
There is something about Vader though being classic. You just gotta like he's so classy. He's like, I'm just gonna choke you and stare at you.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then they're like Vader, and he's like, hold on.
That's
wait,
nice.
wait. Okay, I'll let him go.
Yeah, all right. I guess I've had my fun.
He didn't have brain damage.
Yeah, man. So
this is one of the things I was gonna say, and this is kind of the Mustafar thing and a couple other things, because they started to do that light speed jumping bullshit.
Oh, the light skip. Yeah.
That's another thing that I feel like. Okay, so light speed skipping, is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, light speed skipping.
That,
like you're skipping a rock.
I heard somebody make a really good point. You know, another orator of films. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was a podcast. Maybe it was just somebody bitching.
Orator.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how the light speed skipping is almost like a metaphor for this entire movie, about how it just isn't taking the time that it should to get from point to point.
It's just going there.
It's just going.
Here we go.
Oh, hey, we're here.
It is.
Shit, we're here. Oh,
it
shit,
is
we're
very.
here.
I don't don't think the pacing bothered me as much this last.
It didn't. But we also knew what was going on.
Yeah,
so that helps.
Yeah,
because instead we were paying attention.
And that's what I was going to bring up. Like that's one thing that didn't really change, the whole like Chewie death scene, and then immediately figuring out that he's okay, is kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of off-putting.
Yeah, it still sucks, man. It still fucking sucks.
I don't.
It's
like
too
again,
quick.
I don't want Chewie to die, but like just reveal it, better.
Yeah, man. Make me feel something for a minute.
Yeah, think about how much of a gut punch it would have been.
Yeah, because
if you had found out the same time that Rey finds out.
Oh,
yeah.
Rey might have killed Chewie.
Oh no,
but she didn't.
Yeah.
Come on, what? Yeah.
So that's the thing. I think that's the biggest disappointment is it just doesn't make me feel anything. It doesn't give me enough time to really marinate on what's like happening. But yeah, it looks pretty.
Yeah. Her saber training.
Yeah.
I don't really love the attitude that she has at the beginning. This just might be me being a little critical. But man, I'm a big fan of Qui-Gon.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that like above the situation Jedi.
I got you.
And I realize she's not Qui-Gon.
No.
Right? Who is?
Not at all.
Who is?
Yeah, who else is Qui-Gon?
Only that man.
Yeah.
Only Liam Neeson.
Only Liam Neeson.
But he has this, this way about him where he understood in time it will work. He understood like a patience, and there was and Obi-Wan tried to have that patience later. Earlier not as much, and I understand that idea of a young Jedi not having the patience. It's a thing that happened with Luke too, but Luke was almost more like directly going, well, I don't understand what's happening right now. Why is this happening? And it's almost more because Luke himself was having the existential
and everybody
crisis.
Kept lying to the boy.
Everybody kept lying to him, and
from a certain point of view,
and he's having a crisis the whole time. So he's like, I don't even know who I am.
Yeah,
But like you said, Rey is doing pretty good about knowing who she is at this point in the film.
Yeah, well,
I feel like it's almost like she's like, this isn't working, and I just don't like that attitude. But at the same time, that was the only problem I really had with that.
Yeah, and it was really kind of at the beginning.
It's really just the beginning, and I realized they were doing it for comic effect too. So whatever.
Yeah, to some degree. Yeah. Well, I think you're also like having to push the training so quickly at the beginning. Didn't help it at all either. Again, this movie is paced very quickly, and I think that's one of its biggest detriments.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think that Qui-Gon should have trained her.
Oh yeah, as Force Ghost.
As a Force Ghost, I still think that would have been super dope. But Leia training her wasn't bad. I still really like the deep fake Leia Luke training on Endor.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really well done. That's probably the best.
Well done.
I
want that as a whole series.
Yeah, the Luke Leia. Dude, do it animated. Just do it animated.
Yep.
Totally. We're having good ideas.
Yeah.
Disney, call us.
Yeah. Or just give us some money.
Just give us money. You can have these.
You can have them.
That's another thing that I don't think we really touched on the last time. Is the Leia, the implementation of Leia.
Yeah. Well, like Leia having her own saber.
And just the way that they did it, like, put her in the movie physically.
So let's talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were telling me, so what they did is they took shots from Last Jedi.
From what I'm to understand, it's like shots and deleted like lines and scenes or whatever from Jedi. Pretty much captured her face, just her face. So like all of her clothes are like from what I'm to understand, they changed the clothes slightly digitally somehow.
Okay.
And then they just fit her in where they really just kind of shove her in there.
Yeah.
Not that I think it was badly done.
No, because you don't really notice it. I mean, there's like one or two shots where I was like, that doesn't exactly fit.
The dialogue's a little clunky.
Exactly.
And awkward.
It's more the dialogue though than the visuals. The visuals are fine.
Yeah. and it looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they did a good job there.
But I
think they did the best job they could have within the circumstance, and I applaud them.
I still think that young Leia and Luke look better.
Look absolutely. Yeah, those look absolutely great.
Yeah, they just look better, and it's crazy. Like young Luke looks fucking perfect.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
And I like Leia's saber.
Oh yeah,
like I like
too.
its design.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's
that's a good saber.
Like it's not Gartley, but it's a pretty saber. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's just very well constructed.
Exactly, it's a dope looking. Well, have you seen that the Emperor's saber before?
No, not that I remember.
That's a pretty saber too.
Yeah,
you know?
I gotcha.
It's a good one.
it's a like chef's kiss.
Bene, molto bene saber. Okay, so alone with friends.
That's pretty. Yeah. It's one of those.
They tried to
hook you
in the heart. No, that's why
I put it cheesy, but it made me laugh.
Alone with friends.
You can't go alone with friends. That's the thing is like
it kind of reminds me of the end of the Labyrinth.
Oh yeah,
when they're all saying they'll be there for her.
Yeah. Should you need us?
Yeah. Should you need us?
Yeah, and it feels like a very Finn. It feels like a very Finn thing to say.
Yeah, it does. It does because he's the fucking happy-go-lucky.
He's just the most earnest person.
Yep.
He's
a Labrador.
Yeah.
He totally is. Why does Poe look like he's in an Uncharted game?
No. Yeah, dude, because he's got the neck scarf.
Yeah, he's got that stylish scarf. Look at him right there. Woo! No, I liked it. I like the little bit more thrown together Poe from the older ones. You know.
Yeah.
I'm actually a bigger fan of that kind of look because I think it's more realistic rather than this very look exactly where I have my strap.
No,
you know, it's so you have to make sure to puff that scarf up only on one side. You know?
Yeah,
it's just it's cool looking. He has a cool design, but he seriously looks like
he looks a lot slicker.
He looks slick.
He looks so slicker in this one than he has.
And I'd rather him be a little scruffy
looking. Scruffy. Who do you call him scruffy looking?
Also, who taught that chimp to weld? Huh? Who the fuck taught that chimp to weld? What was going on with that? Who? Why? So you're telling me that the Empire? Yeah, you're telling me the Empire has like ships and ships and ships full of just humans, and then this one chimp that welds? Because I've never seen another alien on those fucking ships.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah.
Well, you think that's more? You think that's more the Sith
that have
has
that chimp?
Wouldn't it be like Knights of Ren?
So the Knights of Ren employ chimpanzees?
I mean, what else do we know about them, man?
I mean, God.
I mean, there had to have been some kind of reveal for them other than, they're guys in black masks, carry axes. That's pretty much it. That's all we really know about the Knights of Ren at the end of this fucking trilogy.
They also run the space chimp trade.
They
We
they train them to do different things.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's a chimp that cooks. There's a chimp that sharpens their axes, you know.
That reminds me of a joke, but I'm not going to tell it. So
leave us hanging.
Yeah, I'll tell you if you want. The festival thing. What do you think about the festival?
This is nice. Pretty
it's
colors.
Kind of cool.
I mean,
cool.
I liked it.
I liked her talking to the little
to the little girl.
Yeah, you know, and that was super nice.
That was good. I liked that moment. That's a really good emotional
good
moment.
Yeah.
Good job there.
And then Lando, like we said.
Oh yeah, is just
soaring on Cloud City.
Yeah.
You know that's why he's on Cloud City, okay?
Yeah.
Lando never leaves Cloud City.
Right.
Okay.
Are you saying he's just gotten used to the altitude now that he's in lower altitude? He just woohoo. We having a good time.
Where's my Cloud City air, baby? Yeah, man, he's hitting that bong that Jabba had with the frogs in it. Yeah, don't hit a bong with frogs in it, guys.
Don't hit frogs, man.
Don't hit frogs. That's for your health. They fly now. What do you think about that? They fly now.
I think they say it too many times.
Yeah, they say it too many goddamn
times. 3 times.
Man,
3PO says it, then Finn says it, and then Poe says it. Yeah. I think it was a good joke.
Yeah.
But they say it too many times. They could have
said it a single time.
Yeah.
They fly now?
Or even twice.
Yeah, even twice, yeah. But still, man, too many times. But good joke.
Good joke.
And I also like the backpack, like the jetpack thing, but I don't like the launcher.
Well, flying stormtroopers in general is just a cool concept.
That's a cool concept.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Fine with that. And I like the bikes that they
it
ride on.
Seemed a little awkward.
Well,
that's all.
I don't think because you're already wearing jetpacks, you actually need the bike to launch you in the air. Or maybe I'm just not understanding how jetpacks work. It's not really that practical, but it looks cool. Again, this entire movie is just rule of cool for Star Wars. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah. Ray, I never told you. And I never will.
The way.
Why, man? Why?
The most wasted drops.
It's fucking stupid. Yeah. I just don't even have anything. And then the flashlight thing right after it's fucking. That's super really cool, man.
That's funny.
It's such a real moment.
She lights her saber.
Yeah.
And then Poe lights his flashlight like a fucking lightsaber, which is, that's awesome because you did that when you were a kid.
Oh yeah.
You did that when you were a kid.
Yep.
That's good fan service.
You've done that.
Yeah.
Like in the past year.
Yeah.
The snake heel thing. I mean, that happened, and that's. I don't know. It just seems. So there's a couple of things about that scene I don't like. I guess because the healing
well, it establishes the force healing.
It does. It really does.
So I mean, that's really its only purpose.
It almost would have been cooler if out of nowhere she just did the force healing later. Because I feel like they used the force heal too many times.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's the first one, and then she uses it on 4,
3.
She uses it 3. Kylo uses it once on her.
Yeah, you're right.
So 4 total.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's a bunch, man.
Yeah, and technically, you could say what Palpatine's doing is the same thing.
Yeah,
he's just taking it from them.
That's a bunch.
Yeah. So 5 total times. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I also feel like that situation where it's like, well, it appears the cave exit has been blocked by a giant serpent.
Oh,
what will you use to move the it's like, Rey uses force heal.
You say it's very D&D campaign.
Yeah, it's really like, or like point and click adventure, use thermal core.
Hold on, let me take a spoon and a block of cheese and rub it on this snake, see if this works.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, Grim Fandango the snake out the way. Let me do that shit. It seems it feels too set up.
I got you.
It feels just okay. It's like
again, like we were talking about, is just like they kind of just like this movie just kind of tries to go from point to point to point.
Yeah.
Because even in that cave, they just happened to sink into. They found the knife that they didn't even know they were looking for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's very. This one feels a very kind of like quest kind of feeling, if you know what I mean, kind of like the way the Fellowship of the Ring felt, like kind of gives you that same vibe as far as like this isn't necessarily a character study of these characters. We're not studying these characters. We're literally just going to put a group of people together and send them on a journey.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. This group of people that you're already endeared to and hopefully already like the chemistry, we're just going to put them together in this movie and then just push them out. You know, go have adventures now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very
that's
very
weird
quick
for the end of the trilogy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, there's just nothing no real truly satisfying climax, you know.
One thing I was going to say earlier is they established something that I don't think they've really done in another movie.
What's that?
Saber throw.
I'm trying to think if it happened.
Did they really do it in the prequels?
I mean, doesn't.
Not the same way that she does it. Not that straight up boomerang saber throw.
No, doesn't Darth Vader throw his saber at some point in like Empire? Doesn't he throw it at Luke?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think because I was like, well, there's got to be some in the prequels.
I can't think of any in the prequels, man.
Yeah, but that may be the first time that we've seen that, since then.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I think you're right.
Is still cool.
Yeah, it's cool though.
And
Her
awesome.
doing the saber throw.
She just straight slaps lasers.
Oh, she slaps that laser right out the air.
Yeah, right out the air.
Man, I like it when she does the blade flip and cuts the wing off.
Oh the what is it? TIE.
Man, what was it called? We just looked at it.
Yeah, TIE silencer.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. It was something to do with stealth.
Yeah, we already talked about the transport thing. The transport thing was it's not that it's a bad scene. That's the thing. It's actually a really cool fucking scene.
Yeah.
It's super cool, them battling over it in the air and the intensity and her getting so pissed that she channeled fucking force lightning.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's super cool. But the payoff just goes away immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, there was 2 ships.
Yeah.
All right. Just kick this rock down the road.
Yeah, man. And then I like that part where there's the ship waiting in the asteroids. That's that callback to Empire.
Oh yeah.
Callback to
Is that
Boba Fett.
That's Knights of Ren ship.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Dio's cool. I think we talked about
Dio's
him.
Funny. Dio's very charming. He's very cute. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
It's he endears himself to you pretty damn quickly.
What'd you think about Kijimi in general?
Kijimi?
Yeah, so the raid on Kijimi when they're going through the houses and all that kind of stuff. What do you think about that? I think it gave a different feel to the Star Wars universe.
I think it did too. Yeah, it's
you don't really see the Empire actually being just thug bastards like that.
Being quite as oppressive.
Yeah, because that's them just directly oppressing people, and that's something you don't see as often, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they are bad guys. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They're not just dicks and ships.
Yeah, I do like
with dicks.
It's very. With ships with dicks. Dropping dicks on planets.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I do like that area. I think 3PO has some of the funniest lines in this movie thanks to that whole sequence. He definitely cracks me up all the way through that part.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he is good.
Right before they're about to wipe him, and he's just like, "Wait, I've thought of another solution." Yeah.
And Bob. Babu Frick is the best, man. Okay. Yeah, really, I need a Babu Frick toy. I don't understand how there aren't Babu Frick toys yet.
Or at least, man, there's gotta be one of those vinyl pop.
Man, seriously.
Yeah,
it'd be perfect for him.
There's got to be one of those.
I like how he has that one big hand for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of creepy looking.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that kind of bugged me this time that didn't bug me last time. The Imperial medal that the chick, that Poe's girlfriend, whatever.
Whatever.
Has. She just gives that shit to him.
Yeah.
She's like, this is the one thing that I've been working for my whole life, and it's the only way for me to get out of this terrible mess that everything is surrounding. Blah, blah. You can have it. You want it?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Well, it's funny, man. It's
and then
like
she doesn't kiss him? What the fuck kind of bullshit is that?
she's very tsundere.
Yeah.
She's very tsundere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
She's hates the guy at first.
Yeah.
And then goes to love him.
Yep.
But she can't actually show her feelings.
Yeah.
Because
she's
broken inside.
Yep, that's right.
She's an insane person.
Yep, that's right.
But I do like her. Like, I like that at the very end, when they're passing looks.
Oh yeah,
like that's a real cute moment, and I like it. Yeah, no,
okay.
Yeah, all right. Doesn't hurt to ask, and it's really good, like acting on their part because they are not saying a goddamn thing,
and you totally get
and they
what's going
convey
on.
an entire conversation. Through just looking at each other.
Very well done.
Very well done.
Man,
good job.
I love that scene, the run and gun on the at that point. You know where all of them are running. I mean, are they on a Star Destroyer? Where are they?
Oh, where at the end with the the horses?
No, not that part. No, when they're all running through the halls and all of them are just blasting the shit
out
of everybody.
Yeah.
And it has
I
that
think
really
they're
cool, like,
I think they're on a Star Destroyer
because they're not on the Falcon. They're on that smaller craft that gets taken on. It is a Star Destroyer.
Yeah,
it's the Star Destroyer the dude is on, that the main leader guy is on. But yeah, so they're on those things. Or they're
trying to rescue Chewie.
Yeah, they're trying to rescue Chewie, and they're going through the halls and everything, and it's just this really cool sequence of shots that feels not.
It's very kinetic.
It's very kinetic, and it's less. It's a
that's kind of a
J.J.
scene. Abrams specialty.
Yes,
man. He knows how to move the camera to make it feel like stuff's going on
without doing it in the way that Michael Bay does, where nothing makes sense.
Yeah,
you're
able to at least follow what's going on.
Yeah. I think it's really funny when Rey walks in the room. In Kylo's room, and there's just all that shit laying there. It's like, here is exactly what you were looking for. Just take this. Here's the stuff. Get it.
I love it when he pops.
And then he's like, Rey, are you touching my stuff?
Why are you touching my stuff? Get out of my room.
You know I have security cameras. Yeah, it's so funny. It's he fucking so this whole them fighting over space, so
over their connection,
I don't know that I love it, but I also think that maybe this is the end, because they really do get to this, that maybe that is a thing that only they experience, like it's a uncommon situation,
right?
So it makes you wonder, maybe.
Well, doesn't the Emperor say something towards the end? I think I remember him saying, like, the connection you have only occurs, so many generations or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he say something to that effect?
I think so.
Yeah. So that would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sets up some of the best. I don't know. I think that might actually be my favorite new Force power from this trilogy.
Oh,
is their connection.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I love the idea that other objects are popping in and out of the thing. I mean, maybe it's this whole their connection is strong enough to fuck with the space-time continuum, whatever, blah, blah, time, space, something. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about a movie with ships,
laser wizards.
With laser wizards, and you're trying to rationalize the laser wizards. Good luck.
Einstein's rolling in his grave. The Force does not work this way.
Force cannot work this way.
I really like him being the spy.
Hugs. Admiral Hugs.
Hugs.
General Hugs.
So General Hugs. And
I do like him being the spy.
I also think
and
that
I
they
like
kill
that
him.
it's because Kylo Ren was a dick to him.
And I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, he's doing it completely out of spite.
I just don't like him. Well, why not? Because he's a dick. He's a dick.
Haven't
you been around him?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, those are good. I like it that they just fucking shoot him. That guy.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
just blast.
Well done.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Nobody likes you, Hugs.
Get down, Hugs.
I still think that it's stupid that the Death Star crashed into a planet. But maybe if that planet's all water, it's okay.
You think it floated, it hit the planet and then floated down?
I'm just not okay with it. There's nothing about it that's okay.
Yeah.
And then the stupid dagger, like, lining up with the...
Yeah, well, and that's another thing that I was going to bring up is this movie has way too many fucking MacGuffins.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you think about the blade, it's like...
It just works.
Not only would... Okay, so it's an ancient blade.
An ancient Sith
blade. And yet it holds the map to something that was recently built, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
And then you have to be at the exact spot.
Yeah. And then pull out this silly compass.
Yeah, it's all perspective.
Line it up.
It's another one of those, if you think about it too hard, it's gonna break. It's gonna break, and that's Star Wars.
Yeah. It's
so, but yeah. But then you have the
really cool, like, her fighting herself thing.
Yeah, I did like that.
I really like that shit. Her throne room vision.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when Evil Rey, like, okay, so number one, did you notice that Evil Rey looks a little skinnier?
Yeah.
They made her look kind of like a Asajj Ventress.
Yeah.
You know, they made her
close.
Yeah, they where she just has that Sith, like, I don't even have to eat. I eat the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I eat the dark side
and,
for breakfast.
That's it.
With biscuits.
With them sharp ass teeth. But yeah, I like that how she, like, you know, bites at her. It's fucking good. Also, I still think it's funny that we got a Took in the movie.
Oh yeah. Never
trust a Took.
Yeah.
Yep. Old Pippin.
Good job, guy.
Yeah. What the fuck though?
Wait, was that Mary?
Is that Mary or Pippin?
I think that's Mary.
What's his last name? Brandy Muck? Is that it? Mary Brandy Muck. Peregrine Took and Mary Brandy Muck or something.
I don't know. Tell us in the comments how badly we fucked up these names.
I'm close. But man, that saber fight afterwards between Kylo,
real good,
and Rey, the real good, like
probably the best one in the trilogy.
Yeah, and I do like the later saber fights though.
I gotcha. Yeah. Throughout this movie, the saber,
it's just great.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's good shit, man.
And you were saying something about them moving into a certain mode.
Okay, so there's a part in the Clone Wars in the original animated, like hand-drawn animated,
which we actually rewatched recently.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's a part where Isla Sakura and her master, they're on Ilium, which is the planet that is turned into.
It's the one
from
where
Force
they
Awakens.
get where they get the kyber crystals.
Yeah, and that's the one that in Force Awakens becomes no, Star Killer Base.
Oh.
Yeah, Ilium is Star Killer Base.
Oh, okay.
But when they're on Ilium, and this is before it's any of that happens, they have this moment where shit's about to go down, and both of them drop into a Sorisu stance, and they just both hold their lightsaber just straight up, and at the same time hit that boom, and there's a moment in this one where both Kylo and Rey hit that same thing, and I was like, that's that fan service right there.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
That's real good.
Yeah, and both of them seem more proficient. I will say, the more that I watch Kylo, it honestly seems like This could sound a little MacGuffin-y too, to be honest. But it's like the cross saber makes him have to modify Makashi.
I got you.
So he's still using a one-handed Makashi technique, and then he also does a lot of really dramatic like Jimso swings and stuff like that. But he, it's like he has to protect himself from not gouging up his sides.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why when the cross saber was originally announced, everybody was like
fuck what? That.
Yeah. Why the fuck would you even use that?
That's a bad idea, guys.
It's because Kylo's edgy, guys. He's so edgy. Look at him. He's just an edgy boy.
Well, again, like I can see why people don't like the way the Emperor is portrayed. I don't care that much about it. Like, I think that he's a husk.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like,
at that time.
Yeah, it's more that they figured out a way to channel the dark side energy through him.
Yeah.
And they were trying to use him literally as a puppet to get Kylo to make Rey
turn. To get Kylo.
Because if they had so think about it this way, what if like the Emperor's back, what if that's actually not even the case?
If it's not actually Palpatine's
not at all, man.
Soul in that.
Nah, man. What if it's
just
a fucking puppet?
I think it would have to be at least enough Palpatine.
Well, maybe a smidgen. He's got a
but
he's
got
a
dead.
It's
not
pinch
like
of Palpatine.
He's gonna come back the same way that he left. I mean, I don't care how evil you are when you die and come back. You're gonna have shit's gonna be different.
Yeah, there's absolutely. Yeah.
But I do see what you're saying as far as like it's not just Palpatine.
Well, I think that like there's a little bit of Palpatine in there, but I think it's more it's like fucking zombie Palpatine, man. He barely has any left in him. He's mostly there as a figure because he's trying to show the power of the dark side to these kids to make them worship the Sith, like religion, and I think that might be more the goal rather than it just straight up being the Emperor's back.
I got you.
I think that their plan, because if you think about it all the way through, it would be pretty dope for the Sith if they had Rey and Kylo as a dual leader. Like,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Sith would be back.
Yeah, they'd be way
and there'd be no Jedi.
They'd be like locusts.
Yeah, and there'd be no Jedi.
Yeah, and there'd be no
Luke's
Jedi.
Dead.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pretty decent situation.
Uh-huh.
I still think the plan's a little convoluted.
Yes, plan's convoluted.
Yeah, but I think I touched on that last time.
Yeah. But no, man, I think that I still think it's pretty good, dude. It's
definitely not my favorite Star Wars.
Nah.
But I enjoyed watching it again. I didn't I went in with the expectation of I'm probably going to actually hate this, and I ended up coming out with that was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. Just like watch the movie, it's worth your time, but don't go in with any high expectations.
Yeah, it's not Revenge of the Sith.
Feed your eyes, man. That's it.
Yeah, especially if you're thinking about it as the third movie in the trilogy. Because, I mean, like, I got it. There's the contention between Empire and Jedi being the better film of the first trilogy.
Right.
I still like Empire better, but Jedi's a dope ender.
Oh,
And it does such a good job of following through.
Yeah.
And but Revenge of the Sith cleans up the mess of Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
it's like that last movie, you don't worry about that. Look at General Grievous.
That. We're not even worried about it.
Yeah, we're not worried about that anymore. But they did not.
Was one dude left over from that movie? Well, let's kill him real quick.
They didn't do that kind of thing with this one. It felt more like a slow burn out rather than an explosion.
I gotcha.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but
it just kind of fizzles.
Yeah, not as exciting.
So, well, I think that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's Star Wars.
That is
Next
Star
time we'll have to talk
Wars.
about something different.
Oh, man. I've never seen other films.
What? There are other films? Well, other than there are other things other than Star Wars?
I don't believe you. I think he's lying to me.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll get this worked out real quick.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.